everyone, what is up? Welcome back to the Lovely Wolf Den. I'm Nadia, and I have here my good friend Kaven Brown.
Hello.
A few weeks ago, I reacted to his latest EP, Eros, and I mentioned that I was possibly going to be interviewing him, and that's what we are doing today.
Yep.
Yeah, I've also never really done this before, so this is all like...
Oh my god, I'm happy I'm popping your interview cherry.
Yes! We're gonna work out the kinks together, but without further ado, let's get to it. So, starting off, I wanted to ask what the starting point of this album was. Like, what would you say was just like that initial like spark that got you to work on it?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like there's not like any lovey-dovey gay albums out. Like, it's always like, you broke my heart because I was gay kind of albums, or like, I hate you because you don't like me because I'm gay kind of albums. But there hasn't been like a I'm just gay and in love kind of album, you know? And I was originally gonna release this during Pride Month because I felt like that's just like the perfect time to do it.
Right.
But then like that was around the time I was like, I don't really feel like I want to release this. But it mostly started from that.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's funny that you bring that up because that actually segues into another question I had, which was you had intended to release this album earlier, i.e. during Pride Month. So what led you to change your mind to like release it again? It
took a lot of like back and forth because when I make music, I'll listen to it in my car, and that'll be like my first judge on like whether or not it's listenable. Like if I can play it more than once, then I feel like it's worthy of like releasing it out. I saw this person on TikTok saying like, you know, when you make music, it shouldn't be for everyone else, it should be for you. So I was like, yeah,
Dang.
you know, I was like, you know, that's right. Cause like I did like spend time making this music. I wrote it. Even if I release it, like if no one else likes it, as long as I'm proud of it. So yeah, I came around, and then I showed my album to one of my friends at work, and they were like, why aren't you releasing this? You need to release this. It took me a while to like be confident in my music. Cause I honestly, a lot of the times I don't like my voice. Like I hate hearing, I hate hearing my voice. But then when I released Like Diana, that's when I knew. I was like, I think it's time to release this album.
Like Diana is a whole moment.
But after I saw the like hype with Like Diana, I was like, you know what? I think it's time. Yeah. It's time to share it.
And boy, did we love it. What was if you can remember, what was the first song that you wrote?
It was actually Leo Rising.
Really?
Well, I didn't know there was gonna be an album, but like if we're talking about the order of which songs were made first, it was Leo Rising.
Oh my gosh.
And that was back in 2021, September.
Really?
When I asked you that question, like, what's a Leo Rising? That's when I started the song.
Oh my gosh. Insert screen cap of our actual text conversation
right here. Yeah, so that's like the actual day that I made Leo Rising. There was a lot of revisions of Leo Rising because I had an idea of like, because Leo Risings, they kind of like want everyone to win kind of a situation. So I had an idea for that. Like I wanted everyone that I love to win. Yeah. Then there was another Leo Rising where I was just talking my and being, you know, a Leo Rising and being like, yeah, I'm the shit. Like that was another kind of song. Yeah. And then when I decided, I kept going back to the idea, like, what if it was about love? What if it was about love? And it's so ironic because, I mean, not saying that I've never been in love, but like I've never had like a relationship as a gay man. But writing about love is just so easy. I don't know what it is. I have no experience, but for whatever reason, I can write about it. And then when I realized, you know what, let's try Leo Rising, but with love. And I wrote the song in like an hour, and I was like, oh wow, this actually sounds pretty good.
No, when I was reading the lyrics, it like truly hit me just how well you did it, because Leo's like, it just in general, there's such just a loyal, fun-loving like placement to have when it comes to love. Like everybody is like, if you find someone with like a Leo like Venus or something, like you won and stuff. And
because I when I was writing the song, I was like researching like what does it mean when you're in love with the Leo Rising. And what I found is that like a lot of Leo Risings, when they find that special someone, you're like you're everything to them. Because
world. What would you say your like songwriting process is?
Oh, I like this question. Okay, believe it or not, when I write a song, the first thing I have to think about is the title. Like when you're writing an essay, you have like a topic sentence. That's my topic sentence. Is if I have the like title, I can be like, okay, the song's about Leo Rising. Yeah. let's talk about Leo Risings.
Yeah.
Or like the song's about crush, let's talk about crushes. And then I'll listen to the song, like the instrumental, like 4 or 5 times, thinking of different melodies. And then when I find one that like kind of like I keep replaying, like, oh, that's catchy, then I'll be like, okay, we'll keep that melody. I don't know if I told you this, but every song on this album was made through my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Every single one. If you listen, and then this is another thing. I recorded this whole album at my work office.
At work?
Yeah, because like I work the overnight shift, so no one's there.
Oh.
You know?
I was like, in your place of business?
Yeah, so I would write every, because no one was at work, and I could like scream and yell and do all these different harmonies because no one, and if I didn't do it there, I'd do it in my car at a park.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So everything was like, if you listen to some of the songs, there's like at my work, there's this fire alarm that I don't know why they don't fix, but it beeps like every 30 minutes. You can hear it. If you like really listen to it, you can hear the beeps in the background because I recorded it on my phone.
Oh my gosh. Easter eggs, y'all.
Yeah, Easter eggs.
Go hunting for it. Remind me my favorite lyric off like literally the entire EP, which is Kiss Me Under the Leo Starlight. Like that.
That was my favorite line to write.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm sure you know that like song samples that song from Sixpence None. Yeah.
I caught that immediately. As soon as you hit us with the Kiss Me, I was like, he did not.
I had another idea where I wanted to just like sing that part, like kiss me, but I was like, no, let's make it like my own.
Yeah. Which song was the hardest to create?
It was Leo Rising.
The first one.
It was hard because I liked the idea so much, but I just couldn't find a way for my voice to fit that song. Like when I was writing, I was like, this would be such a good song for someone else. But I was like, I really love it though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when you make a song from scratch, it's kind of like it's your child.
Yeah, and
you don't want to let it go, but like when you feel like you can't give it the justice it deserves, you kind of like feel like maybe it's not for me.
Oh man.
But
I can imagine that must be a strong feeling for you since you do like literally everything.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't know, he literally does everything.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I don't have like a producer. I don't have a team.
Yes, support indie artists. Very cosmic. It's giving astrology. So what has been the most shocking part about the reception that like the album has gotten?
I'm gonna be honest, Phone a Friend. Like, I don't like I hated that song for the longest time.
Really?
For the longest time. And the only reason I released it is because I wanted to release it with this album because it made sense sonically.
Yeah.
Like, it just fit the concept. I also did not like the way my voice sounded on that song. But when I released the album, everyone likes that song.
It's so good.
Like, my friend was like, no, that's my favorite song. And I was like, really? Like, that one was surprising to me. I did not think anyone was gonna like that one.
Okay, well, tell us the story then.
Okay, so in 2018, I did the college program for Disney, and I had a roommate.
Oh my god, you did?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wow. So I did the college program for Disney, and I had a roommate, and we got really close. We became best friends. And then we were still good, and then in 2019, he dated this girl that I worked with, and I was like, oh, you know, like, they're cute and all. And then I found out he cheated on her. You know, that could have been like, oh, that's your guys' business. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is he used me to cheat on her, basically. So he would tell her, oh, I'm with Kaven.
Yeah.
I had no idea about this.
Right.
And because of that, I felt used. Like, I felt like I was taken advantage of. And like, it happens a lot in my family. So for it to happen to my best friend, like, I was like, I felt super betrayed.
Like, this is a little personal.
Yeah. So during the whole moment, like, that whole situation was happening, I like did not want to talk to him because I felt so used. I felt disgusted. So I was like, I don't want to talk to you. So he would constantly call me, but I wouldn't answer because I was like, you don't deserve my reasoning. And he would always ask, like, what did I do wrong? And I was like, figure it out.
Like, oh my gosh, the fact that he's even asking that.
Yeah, like, it was like, you figure it out, you should know. Like, and then after like weeks of him like calling, I wrote Phone a Friend, and then I dropped the song and I sent him the link, and I was like, that's your answer.
Oh my god!
And that was the last time I ever heard from him. My friend did say that he called her and said that, you know, I can't believe you guys are doing this, and the fact that I heard Kaven's song and it's about me, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I wanted you to feel.
Oh my God, that whole like figure it out energy is very Capricorn of you.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so then if phone a friend, like you hated it for the longest time, like was it the reception that changed your mind, or like what was it?
I would say it was the reception, and then me like sitting back and like listening to it. Like I think the reason why I didn't like it was one, because of my voice, and then two, the whole situation around it. But after the reception of it, I went and recorded the video for TikTok at the place we first met.
Oh.
So like I feel like that was kind of like a goodbye. Like that song is my goodbye to that whole situation.
Yeah.
So when I like took the time to like realize that, I was like, you know what, Phone a Friend is a good song. And I feel like that song is very relatable. Like,
yeah.
But there's hardly ever breakup songs about friends,
which are very real and very important.
Yeah, and I feel like honestly, friend breakups are the most hurtful than if it was a
sting.
Yeah, which is why I wrote that lyric in the song that like this hurts way more than if we dated, because it does hurt. Like that whole situation, I felt so used.
Yeah,
I like cried for like a week.
Oh my gosh!
And then
go stream Phone a Friend, y'all, and go check out the TikTok video at calikaven on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Have because you know how you can like as an artist you can see like what playlists people put like songs on.
Phone a Friend's only been added like 3 playlists, but like Diana, oh my god, some of the playlists they added to is just so cute. Like there was one I saw this morning. It's called like Driving Windows Down. Like that's literally the playlist. It's called like Driving with the Windows Down.
Which like Diana's definitely that song.
And then I really like when people, you know how you can make the cover art? They'll put K-pop idols. And I'm like, I saw one of, I think it was Jimin. He was doing something, but when I saw it, I was like,
he was like, how did you know?
And then what's even really cool about the Spotify thing with the playlist, you could see where they put your song before and after. And like one of them was my song and then trivia. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
My song is like in the middle of trivia? Like, yeah, that was kind of a flex, I'm not even gonna lie.
No, that's definitely a flex.
Like to be put in an album with a bunch of artists that you love.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of like, wow, I'm like deserving of that spot.
You are though. Like
so like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I want you to talk about the creative process of like Diana, because I really love the story on how that song came to be. So if you could talk about that.
Okay, so I mean, we're kind of all obsessed with Diana. Like, you know, it's Princess Diana is like our princess.
Yeah.
Like our real life Disney princess.
Yeah.
So for me, like I knew of her, but like I never like knew her history. And during COVID, like, you know, everyone's binging Netflix. I come across The Crown and I get to the season where they talk about Diana. Like I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 seasons were kind of like boring. I was like, I don't really care. Yeah. But like when it got to the Diana season, I was like, ooh, this is juicy. And then I was just like learning about like the history of Diana and like what happened. I don't know, I just felt like every gay person has like an idol, and like she was definitely my idol at that time. And to see how like selfless she was, and like everyone did love her, but the thing with Diana that was different was she had all this like exposure and this attention, but she still stayed to herself and true to herself. Yeah. And I was like, that's so like inspiring, like to have all this attention but still be like at your core yourself. It was like really, I don't know, I just thought it was really inspiring. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write a song about this. So like Diana was actually produced by one of my friends on YouTube. And I was like, hey, do you have any like beats I can try out? And he was like, yeah, I have this one synth pop beat. And I was like, okay. Never tried the sound. Like that was the first time I've ever tried like synth or like pop or retro pop or dream pop. As soon as I heard that first like, duh, I was like Diana. And I was like, I like that. And it was because she was in my head at that time. I was like, you know, I feel like everyone wants to be like Diana. Yeah. And it's just a really good feeling song. And you can feel like the energy just listening to it. I was gonna say, like, given like how that song came to be, you can definitely feel all of that like while you're listening to it. And I would say like Diana was one of the songs where like, no, this is gonna be released. I don't care if I don't like it. It's just too good of a song to just sit in the drafts. Writing that song in general was kind of like my love letter to a Diana. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay, did you intentionally put these songs in the order that they're in? Oh, I like this question. It was intentional. I felt like, okay, let's just start with Like Diana because we're talking about it. Okay. Like Diana is such a good closer because it's just such a, it's like, the song. You leave with a good vibe. You're like, oh, that was such a good, like, you know, album. The whole point of like Eros, it's about like, it's about being gay and being in love. Right. But it's about the different types of love that you can have for certain things. So like crush is about, you know, having a crush, like having a love for someone else. Leo Rising is having also a love for someone else. That was kind of like the same, but it was like I wanted to put that on there because it was like part 2 of Crush, in my opinion.
It's definitely a continuation.
And then Phone a Friend is like a love that was lost from a friendship, and then Like Diana was a love from being inspired. So wow, yeah. So starting with Crush, like that's a good. When I wrote that song, I was like, this is going to be the intro. Because it, like, right when you listen to it, you're like, oh, this is the song we're going to go for.
It's the perfect intro song.
Yeah. And then Leo Rising, I felt like I didn't want to put it after Phone a Friend because Phone a Friend had, like, very, like, not saying it was negative, but, like, there was a dark side to it. So I was like, okay, let me put Leo Rising 2 and then Phone a Friend 3. And then I have to end with Like Diana.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, and this was like, correct me if I'm wrong, this was like my personal like thought when listening to it. I felt like Phone a Friend like was such like a also good like interlude kind of song because it's like a bit shorter and stuff.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I would say it's definitely like an interlude. I would have wanted to make it longer, but I felt like I said all I needed to say in the song.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I was like, if I did anything else, it'd be too extra.
Yeah.
Because there was a bridge for it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I liked the exclusive.
Kaven Brown, the demos.
Honestly, yeah. But Phone a Friend had a bridge, but when I listened, like when I made the bridge, I felt like so angry making it. So I was like, no, this is too much for this album. Yeah. This album is like, that song has like a dark connotation with it, but I want it still to feel like inspiring. So I was like, no, let's take the bridge off. So I took it off.
Talking about like the theme of it and then the intention behind organizing everything, how is this going to transition into a possible like next like step for your music?
So I have a lot of ideas. Like I have so many ideas. I'll write. The thing about like making an album is I never intentionally make it. I just write a bunch of songs and then I feel like, oh, these songs kind of sound good together, and then I'll like think of like a concept for like what an album should be. But like, okay, if you know, like on TikTok, I do like features on K-pop songs, right? Or I do like raps. A lot of people want me to do like a rap type album. And I was like, okay. So I was thinking about it. I am going to do something like that. It'll be like SoundCloud exclusive. Like I'm not going to put it on Spotify just because I want to see how people react to like that side. Because I've never written like original raps for myself. But as for like the Kaven Brown, so that's what I was like thinking about when I was driving over here. I feel like Kaven is like the rap side of me, and then Kaven Brown is like the singer songwriter.
He said alter ego. I love that so much.
But I feel like Kaven, because of the TikTok thing, but also because like California in general, like the West Side has been very rap centric. So having a persona named after the state that I've lived in all my life, I feel like that makes sense. And then Kaven Brown is like, I've always written songs like since a young age, so that's like the personal side of me, like that's me.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
But now, so Eros is named after like the god of love, right? The god, well, not Aphrodite, but like her child Eros. Yeah. But I'm like obsessed with Greek gods. That's why I'm a Percy Jackson stan.
I know. Like if y'all didn't know, like Eros.
I'm from Camp Half-Blood. Like so like Eros was named after the god of love, but he's also part of the community. He's a girly, like, you know. So I was like, that's a perfect like god to like encapsulate an album about gay love. So my next idea, I want to revisit the bossa nova sound that I did like 2 years ago, but I never like released it, but I loved that sound. So I'm gonna do it. For now it's called Dionysus. Okay. Because Dionysus is the god of like wine and like partying basically. So Eros is like the fantasy of being in love. Yeah. Dionysus is being in love, like, and like the reality of being in love. Yeah. Oh my god. Like one of the songs I wrote already, it's a song called Fun, and it's about like the whole hookup community in the gay culture. Ooh. So Dionysus has themes of like, now you're in love, so what comes about it? Yeah. Because the gay community has very like, I feel like the gay community has like dark and
it's like a very different experience.
Yeah, very different. Like hookup culture in general. Yeah, I made like a whole song about that, and then like that song specifically features calikaven. Like there's a rap in it.
Oh my gosh!
So that's my next step. But I'm gonna make another Eros song that I have in the drafts just to release to say like, this is the goodbye for this era. and then we'll move on to the next era.
Y'all heard it here first. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm very excited for that. These are just kind of like some fun little questions to kind of like segue out. What is your favorite lyric from the EP, if you have one?
Ooh. Okay, this is the smartest lyric I've written. So in Crush, there's a line I say, "Clever word, consume my lies." Mm-hmm. So when you have a crush, you're always overthinking like what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
So I'm like when they're like, "Oh, so like who do you have a crush on?" I'll like think of like clever ways to like lie about what I actually have intentional. Yeah. So that was my favorite lyric to write because I was like, yeah, I do that a lot. Like I do make clever words to consume my lies.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Honestly, after I wrote that, I was like, I wrote that. I wrote that lyric.
I kind of did that.
Yeah, love that line. That's like my favorite.
And then, who are your musical inspirations?
Oh, this is easy. I would definitely say Ariana Grande. Like, that's a given. Mm-hmm. Also, Clairo and Steve Lacy. They're actually the reason why I was comfortable with making an album on my phone because they both do that.
Oh,
like
wow.
when Clairo was making... Well, Clairo is a little different. Clairo, she made her albums on her Mac computer through GarageBand, but it was still like, it wasn't a professional setting.
Yeah.
Steve Lacy made his entire album on his phone. So I love those two artists in general. Like, I love Clairo because sonically she's like the way that I would make music. Yeah. And then I like Steve Lacy because songwriting wise is the way I would make music.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Olivia, when I was making this album, I really wanted to be in my Olivia Rodrigo era, so that's where Phone a Friend was low-key inspired by, was Olivia Rodrigo Sour. Definitely Conan Gray.
Like this is what Conan Gray wishes he sounded like. No tea, no shade of Conan Gray.
Just sonically, like his way of music is what like I would say it's the most similar to, so for me not to say I'm inspired by it would be like, kind of wrong.
Well, that's pretty much all the questions that I had. Do you have any final statements or anything else you would like to promote or say?
Stream Eros on all platforms,
Yeah. Follow him at calikaven on Instagram.
On everywhere,
TikTok, like everywhere.
Yeah, and Dionysus will come out in the winter.
Again, you heard it here first. And then follow us at
on M1CK3Y. Yeah, crew on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes, do that. But thank you so much for doing this.
I'm happy my first interview was with you. Like, honestly, yeah.
Oh my God. Stop. I'm happy this was with you as well because I was like stressing about it. But
yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no.
She's a great interviewer, guys. You guys should hire her.
Oh, thank you. But with that will conclude this Lovely Wolf video. If you're not subscribed, definitely do that. Comment down below anything you'd like to see any of the Lovely Wolf creators do. If you'd like more content from us, join our Patreon. The link will be in the description down below.
Yes, join the Patreon.
And with that, thanks for watching. Catch y'all later.